Alright guys, today let's talk about a skill that no one really talks about or is educated on. I was never taught how to do this skill. I don't really know of any nurse that was ever really taught how to do this skill. You're always taught how to do report, how to give report, what to say during report, but what you're not ever really taught how to do, especially not in nursing school, is how to talk on the phone. It's a skill that all of us nurses really need to know. We all need to know how to talk on the phone because you are actually on the phone quite a bit, believe it or not. A lot of people probably don't think of that, but yes, you're on the phone with providers, you're on the phone with patients, families. Various other people are going to ask you questions because for whatever reason they think you are the go-to person that knows everything. So, what you do not want to do is, let's just say, for instance, you have a patient with a low blood sugar. You do not want to just show up and be like, "Hey, doc, I got a patient with a low blood sugar. What do?" That doc's probably going to hang up on you. They're probably going to say, "Well, what's blood sugar?" Hold on, doc. Let me look at my notes here. Says the blood sugar was 42 last time we checked, and it was 91 30 minutes ago. If you take that long on the phone, that provider is liable to hang up on you, and you're probably not going to get your order because you're going to have to call back, and they're not going to be very happy with you. Trust me. I've been that nurse, believe it or not. What you need to do, you pick up that phone, already have all of your information, have confidence, speak clearly. Don't stutter your words, don't pull a bunch of don't know. Be sure you know what meds you're getting and do it very quickly. Pick up the phone. "Hey, Dr. Chris, listen, I got this patient. Blood sugar was 31 15 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago, blood sugar was 76. An hour ago, blood sugar was 112. We're checking at Q15. Patient is on an insulin drip at, let's just say 5 units an hour. Doctor says, "Oh, thank you, Nurse Chris. Why don't you go ahead and DC that drip? Go ahead and give them some peanut butter crackers and let's see what happens." Now, of course, that was a completely made-up scenario, but I had confidence in my voice. I knew my facts. I did not stutter or anything like that. That's where you're going to get issues, is when you start stuttering. The doctor's going to say, "I can't hear you, I can't understand you," things like that. And these doctors are seeing a lot of patients, so they're not exactly going to know who you're talking about simply by you calling them and saying, "I've got a patient that blah da 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 da." They may have just seen that patient, but they have 1,500 more patients that they've seen today and completely forgot about the conversation that you literally just had. Yes, that can happen. You, as the nurse, need to stay on top of the meds, the patient, the symptoms, the signs, everything else going on, the disease process, especially when you're on the phone with them. Phone calls are hard because you can't really emphasize exactly, with your visualness because you're on the phone. And you need to be clear, precise, and know exactly your facts, figures, meds, things like this. You can't just show up and say, the blood sugar's low, and they got 45 units of insulin 20 minutes ago, something like that. Don't be like that. Even if there is an issue with the patient, still be clear, precise, know your facts. That's just all there is to it. Phone conversations are hard to have with providers, but sometimes you have to have phone conversations with family. When you have to have phone conversations with family, these are when you start getting a little bit more tricky, as a lot of times you don't know who you're talking to because it's just over the phone. It could be dear Aunt Edna that you think you're talking to. However, it could be patient's ex-wife who was crazy and trying to get information by disguising herself as dear Aunt Edna. So when I talk to family on the phone, if I don't know exactly who I'm talking to, I'm either going to give no information or very vague information to hurry this conversation along very quickly. This is something that can get a lot of nurses in trouble very quickly, because if dear Aunt Edna does turn out to be ex-wife Cindy over there, you're going to get yourself in a little bit of trouble by giving away information. So if you're talking to family, if you don't have a password, a lot of times facilities have passwords or safe words or whatever it may be. You know, you call the nurse and they say, "Oh, I'm calling about, you know, my dad," or whatever. Oh, okay, well, what's the password? Oh, it's April, May, June, or, you know, something like that. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you all you need to know about your dad. A lot of times patients set those little passwords up. But if there's no password in place, and the patient may have even forgot about ex-wife Cindy, you know, didn't think ex-wife Cindy would be calling, and did not set up a password, well, if I don't know who exactly I'm talking to, and I've actually seen nurses do this before, just say, "I don't know who I'm talking to, you're going to have to call back later." I applauded that nurse, actually. I was like, "You go. You got that one." If I don't know who I'm talking to, they'll say, "Hey, how is, you know, patient XYZ doing?" "Oh, they're good." And they'll say, "Oh, well, what is all this and that and the other?" I'll probably say something like, "Oh, I'm actually in the middle of something right now. You're going to have to call back later," or something like that. If I don't know exactly who I'm talking to, I'm going to come up with a way to get off that phone call in a hurry. I'm not going to want to talk to someone I don't know about a patient. I just, you know, there's so many horror stories about HIPAA out there that you just don't want to be that nurse. You don't want to be that nurse. So always know your phone call etiquette. Gracious, if I could talking about talking on the telephone and I'm mispronouncing etiquette. Always know your phone call etiquette. Be clear, precise, especially when you're talking to a provider, and don't give any information away over the phone if you're not 100% of who you are talking to. That's what I got for you today. If you like this video, don't forget to check this one out over there-ish. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe over there. I hope it helps. Thank you much.